Okay, well, welcome everyone to this meeting of the virtual CICS user group. I'm Trevor Eddles, I'm CEO of iTechEd Limited. We're a mainframe consultancy, analysis and technical authoring organisation, and we're responsible for the content on the Virtual CICS website, and we produce the newsletter. And just a reminder, the website can be found at virtualcics.hostbridge.com. Anyway, let's start by running through the agenda for this meeting. As usual, most of the meeting will be taken up with a presentation, and today our guest presenter is Colin Pearce. His presentation is called Installing and Connecting to CICS EXPLORER for a Single CICS Region. And hopefully we'll have something on the website for people to download, but the whole meeting's being recorded, so you can watch it again later, or you can share it with your colleagues who couldn't quite be here today. There'll be a link on the resources page on our website, so that's virtualcics.hostbridge.com/resources.htm. Following Colin's presentation and any questions you have for him, we'll move on to the latest CICS news and the latest CICS related articles. Feedback request is there to remind me to ask you for your feedback about this virtual meeting, and then I'll give you the dates and times for the next virtual meetings. So that's the plan. I'm anticipating that it will last for just under an hour. Anyway, as I just said, today's presentation is from Colin Pearce. Colin has been a ZOS and CICS systems programmer for over 30 years and has been teaching for more than 20 years. He's worked in permanent contract roles, he's installed CICS and related software many times, and is well versed in the application side of CICS using command level and with CICS debugging in both transaction level and CICS system dumps using IPCS. He's written many courses in CICS, CICS systems programmers, CICS transaction debugging, CICS command level programming, CICS internals. And he knows and understands newer facilities such as web services and ThreadSafe. He's taught for IBM in Australia, India and Singapore. He's taught for third-party suppliers. He's worked for IBM in Singapore for a number of years, supporting Citibank. So, Colin, I'd like to thank you very much for being with us today, and I'd like to pass control of the meeting over to you. So thank you very much, Colin.
Thanks, Trevor. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'll override you and we'll come into the share. Hi, everybody. Hope you can all hear me. It's just to kick off. If you want to take down my email address, if you have any questions or anything, you've got a pen. It's Colin, 1L, colin.pearce@gmail.com. So hopefully that'll make it easy for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through, which is a very straightforward and relatively simple setup from both the CICS side in terms of a single CICS region connecting to CICS Explorer. And hopefully I'll do some commands once we get to CICS Explorer just to whet your appetite. You may already be using it. It is a great system, and I really encourage you, as I will towards the end, encourage you to spend more time using it. So I've checked everything. Everything is up and running, so hopefully there won't be any glitches that I haven't already thought about. So let's get started, because obviously the clock is against us here. I think you can see one of the problems I do have is that I tend to lose connectivity, but it's not really a problem, as I can easily get back on again. It's just one of these things that I still haven't managed to solve, but I can reconnect. I just wanted to start with this CICS region here, and if I do a find on TCP/IP, then we can see it set to yes. So that's the first thing that you have to do, and most CICS regions would have this set to yes, whether you're doing any significant work in TCP/IP or not. But I like to think that also you can use what I'm going to talk to you about on a sandbox region. You might have just a single CICS region somewhere in a ZOS system that's sort of on its own, and you want to practice the CICS Explorer. And so, you know, hopefully this will help you through that. So let's get out of here. Let's log on to CICS itself, and let me show you what you need to do. I'm lucky here. I have CICS 5.3, 5.4, and 5.5. So I get to play with a lot of CICS regions, but our CICS Explorer is under 5.3. So if I do this, 5.3, this is a typical sign-on. I think we should all be very happy and familiar with this. Okay, so I've written down a few notes. So just to show you how to get started. So if you type in CDA and expand on group, Aster group, because you don't really know what's been set up. All right, so you know, TCP/IP service, this is what you want to look for. And you can see here we've got quite a number of them. It's not surprising that we would have different TCP/IP servers with probably different ports that we're connecting to. You can see the external CICS interface here as one of the IPIC ports. The one I want to though is this one. You need to look for DFH $WU. All right.
But Colin,
Yeah.
what we're seeing seems to be frozen on the first screen. We don't seem to be following you onto this screen.
Okay, let me just share the screen again, because this can happen with Zoom. So you should be able to see it now.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, so I've done this CDA expand group Aster TCP/IP service, so you should be able to see all of them here. This is the one you need to be looking at, DFH $WU, and you can see that I've already created my own user. All right, user $WU. Okay, so you can see what we have there. Okay, so if I now type in, you know, DFH $WU. Okay, so just note this down. Okay, and if I look at what we've got here, the default port number is 01490, which is the one I use. So you shouldn't have to touch anything here. So 01490. I've used 1491, 1492 for different things, but this should be enough for you. And you do need this URI map, so you don't need to touch it, but you do need it. So for example, then you would say, you know, copy. I want to copy, you know, to open brackets. Let's say user $WU1. Okay, and I can just put an equals there. Okay, and we get error messages because it doesn't like DFH messages. But if we just go back to here and we do another group, you can't really mess around with DFH messages. It causes you no end of problems, because IBM doesn't, as you know, IBM doesn't allow you to change it because they want to know that they're fine. So you can see here now that we've got this one. So if you were setting up your own, so you just set it, you add it into your list. Okay, and then you can simply install it or cold start your CICS region, and that will have it there for you. Okay, but so I'll delete that one at the end because I haven't added it in. So I've only added mine in. So if I just show you mine, just to complete this, WU. Okay, and this is the one that we'll be using. So if I do a view here, you see it. So it's 1490. Okay, and then you can just leave everything else as it is. I've never had to touch anything there, just as a simple setup. leave HTTP there. And then what you can do, once you come out of here, again, leave the URI map as it is, and then simply clear the screen. You can do CMT inquire on TCP/IPS. And you can see then that I have installed it. And you can see the port number here, the HTTP, then it's the no SSL, the transaction that's going to be invoked, and then the user replaceable module that's going to be invoked. This is the max data, and this is the backup, and then the number of connections. So just to make sure this looks okay. Okay, so once you've got that set up, everything else should be fine. So what we'll do now, we'll get on to the CICS Explorer now. We've set it up in on the remote desktop. So hopefully there shouldn't be any problems here. If we get this far, it's going to work, which is nice. So I'll just clear the screen, make sure you can still see me. Which one is it? This one. Okay. So you should be able to see me here. Okay, just following that. So I'll just sign in my password. So just let me come down here. That should be it. And that looks good. Now I'm not going to cover installing this piece of software here. You can just download it from IBM. There should be no problems. You know, we've only got, you know, less than an hour. So I wanted to focus on getting onto the CICS Explorer. So I double click on here. Okay. And it comes up. So this looks good. And then what will happen is that we'll come on to CICS Explorer here. Apologies if it's a bit small. I don't have any control over this, but I think there should be enough for you to see here. The first thing that you want to do is to go all the way over to the right-hand side. You can see it says Open Perspectives. You can see that here. All right, so Open Perspectives, just click on this one. Just look for Open Perspectives, and you need to select CICS SM. This is the one you need to select. This a perspective is really a workspace. So there's different workspaces for different pieces of software here. And so we want CICS SM, even though we're just doing a single CICS region. We're not doing CICSplex, although obviously CICS Explorer can use the CICSplex definitions. So CICS SM, you just click on that and I'll cancel, and you get this workspace here. And so then what you need to do is to make yourself known. Now you can see here that I've got set up because I'm looking for the CICS managed client interface here, the CMCI. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear out of that. So now this is how you'll start. You go to Windows here, and you say Manage Connections. Okay, so that comes down here, and we get this one back again. Now you will come to here. Now I've already got a session set up. You can see this is me here. But if I click on this one, click on the actual the CMC itself, you can see it says Add, and this is what you would get up. I'll show you what you type in here, but I'll actually cancel out of it. This name here is anything you like, anything that means something to you. It's not registered with CICS, it's not registered anywhere else. You can just put, you know, my CICS Explorer there, or just, you know, Fred. You know, it doesn't matter what you put there. It'll just be something that you can recognize later on. The host name is the only thing you're going to have to find out from your network people or from your ZOS person. What is the URL of the host name? You know, something dot something dot something, or you can even put your IP address there. So you need to pop that there, and then your port number will be 01490. This must match up with the TCP/IP service. Okay, so once you've got these three things there, you can then either save and close and set it up later, or save and connect. So you can go straight in, make sure it's okay. All right, so I'll do cancel out of here. I'll come back to mine, which is this one. You can see I can edit it, I can make changes, I can remove it if I'm not happy, or I can simply connect in. Okay, so let's do that. It'll ask me for my password, which is here. You can see it's got my user ID. Now this is your MVS user ID. Okay, so therefore I just need to type in my password. Okay, once that's done, I click OK. And one of the things I think isn't the best with CICS EXPLORER is that all the connections and all the things that you do will be shown down here in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see I'm connected. You can see my CICS region is here. So really, you've got to just look for this if you suspect there's a problem. If there's a major problem, then this will come up in red. And again, hopefully your CICS EXPLORER will be a little bit more, the font will be better. But unfortunately, I don't have a control over the font here. But I think will be enough to give you an idea of what to do. So just look here to make sure that you get connected. And also, if it comes up in red, then there's a problem. One of the problems I've had, but it's only really been with the CICS SM, the CICS Plex Explorer, is I get security violations. Then I've got to go to the region and find out what the problem is. But luckily, with the single CICS region, you don't need any other definitions to RACF security other than your own, transactions that you've probably already set up with T-Kixtron and G-Kixtron. So as long as they're in place, or not, as the case may be, if you're not using RACF at this stage, then there shouldn't be any problems here. So here we see then, okay, I can click on here. Now, what we see at the top here is we see a whole range of different tabs. You can see we've just got a tab here because I clicked on the region. So it actually remembered the last one I did. So I'm just going to end that one and come down to region. Okay. If I didn't have any tabs here, then what I would do, I would go up to operations. And when you go to operations, you have to think CEMT. Okay, so I can go to operations here and I can see all of the CEMT type values. So I can see regions here. So for example, I can click out of this one. It'll do the next one along. It's very intuitive like that. But if I want region, I come to operations, I click on regions, and I get my region here. So all this is just, the name of it, the user ID, the task number, the startup, is active, just the CICS release I'm using, just different values on that. But if I want to start working with this, okay, then if I double click on this region name, you can see it's suddenly given me some attributes. Okay. Now, whenever you double click on an entity, on a name, whether it's a program name or a transaction name, and it gives you an overview, then and I'll show you this as we go through, then you need to come down to the bottom. Can you see the tab here at the bottom that says attributes? It's picked this one up because it's the only one. Okay, so so when we come down here, you can see that I'll just scroll down a little way. Okay, so you can see here that just about all of these are what you get if you do a CMT inquire system. You get much more here than what you get on the CICS system, and it's interesting that CICS 5.5 now, the inquire system there goes to multiple pages. So you can see how things have improved on that, whereas up to and including 5.4, there was only a single screen on that. But you can come all the way down here. You can see different values. You think, oh, I really would like to change max task. Okay, so let me show you how you do that. Okay, so you can see as we come all the way down here for our values all the way down, you can see that, you know, all the different values that we have here. You've got the startup, you've got short on storage. You get much more than what you would normally get from just a CEMT type sort of value. Okay, and you can see things like, you know, when was it last changed? You know, when was max task last changed? Okay, so let's say, for example, that I want to change runaway. You know, we know runaway is for looping. So if I highlight it and I don't want to make it 2,000 milliseconds, I want to make it 5,000 milliseconds. So what I do here, I highlight it and I double click on it. Okay, and then what it gives me a chance to type in what I want to type in. So I'm just going to put 5,000. If there was a series of options, I would get a little drop down here and I could pick the one I want. Now you must remember, when you make a change here, you need to just press the enter key, and what will happen is you'll get a greater than sign. And this is really just to tell you that, oh, I've actually made some changes, and you know, I want to make sure I cover those. So in this case, then I want to save it. Now I can either do a Control S and save it, or I can come all the way over to here on the top left hand side. Can you see it says save? Control plus S, right? So I can save it there, and it will save it for me, and it's now down to 5,000. So you can see that's there. Yeah, that's been set. Right, so I can make any changes following the same process. You know, I can make sure that that I've got all my changes in place. I can do multiple changes if I want, and each one will highlight and show me the greater than, as long as I've hit enter after making other change. All right, as long as I hit enter, or else it won't. It'll just sit there and wait for you. It'd be rather sad if you don't get anything happening. Okay, so if you've got multiple options, then you can just do the. I don't know if I can do one here that's got more. Here's one here for the force quasi reentrant value. You can see here force or no force. You can see you just pick the one you want, hit enter. Okay, because it wasn't changed, I can think, oh, I missed that. I should have changed it. Let's change it to force. I hit enter. It comes up, and I can just say Control S, and I'm done. Okay, I'll change that back later, just in case people are using thread safe on this region. But I'm pretty safe at the moment. And when I finished, you know, done all I can, then I simply go up to my attributes here, and I can simply press the X and take me out of that. And you know, I've done some work on the region name now. Okay, so
Colin, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
We were asked, how can max tasks be changed? I don't see the value of it so far. Thank you.
Okay, let me see. It should be here. Yeah, I changed it earlier, so it should be here. I don't see it here. Yeah, I don't know why. I was playing with it earlier. I don't know whether I removed it, and I didn't mean to. But it, yeah. So it should be here. So I don't see it here. Oh, here we are. It's under transaction affinity. I beg your pardon. It's under this one. So I've got 20 here. right? So I just, okay. So I just double click. I change it to 25, and then you can see I just do Control S, and I'm done. Okay. So
Okay,
I come
thank you.
back to transaction affinity. Yeah, I forgot to search on this. I don't change max task very often. So max task is now 25. If I want to change it back again, I just double click, type in 20, hit enter, Control S, and I'm done. And it's changed it. And all the while, you just want to make sure that you've got succeeded here on the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, so you can change a number of different things here, but obviously with the normal CMT Inquire system, there's not a lot of things that you would be changing on an ongoing basis. All right. So just remember, then let's have a look at some of the things. So I don't want region anymore. I'm finished with that. I'm finished with my region here. So I want to come down and I want to look at transactions. Okay, so I can come to local transactions. I've come down under operations to local transactions. I'm getting blank things, and you can see here now. Here's all the transactions. Okay, so we can see here them all. You can do different things with it as you require. Okay, cool. Okay, so you can do, copy, you can do discard, enable, disable. You can do a number of different things here to do the same things that CMT is doing. Okay, you just got to be careful because some things will be left click and some things will be right click and some will be just a double click. Anytime you do a double click, it'll open in attributes and you can see all the attributes here. Okay, that we saw before. And the thing is, do keep your tabs at a manageable level here, okay? Because that way, then you'll be able to see what you want. Only they do get very small if you keep opening a lot of them. So you can come to any one of these RPL list, right? Any one of these here, and you can see here that we've got that. So the RPL list. If you want to filter, you can go to, well, I've come down to the RPL list here. Time is getting away from us. So let's say I only want to see the CEE data sets. You can see add quick filter. Now, what I've done, I've right clicked here. Okay, add quick filter. I come up to here. I type in CEE Aster. Okay, I hit enter and it will just show me the CE. Oops, let's do it again. I'm on RPL CE.aster. Oh, I think this is the problem. I've got two up. Yeah, so you can see here. Yeah, I now can only see C. So really, I can mix and match this the way I like. Only on the things that can be sorted on. You've got to get to this. So I right-clicked, add quick filter, and then I can go over here. And when I've finished, I can just get rid of it, close it, and away I go. And once I close it, it'll come back and it'll show me all of them there. The other thing I like is it does show me the RPL number. The only other way I could get this easily was to, in IPCS, to go to the loader domain and tell me what the RPL numbers were. So in that sense, then at least I can see. And if this becomes quite lengthy, then you get all the data set names here. So, once you start to work with CICS EXPLORER in these kinds of areas, then you'll find yourself going there more and more. You can see dynamic storage areas here. Let's go back to operations. All right, come down to the DSAs. I'm going to come down to the dynamic storage areas here, and you can see them all here. Just to give you another look at another part of CICS. You can see that You've got, you know, the CDSA, ECDSA. I'm sure you CICS people know all about these. You're probably not familiar with the trusted DSA that got given to us a few releases ago, and you can see the Grande CICS, Grande shared and Grande user DSAs. These are above the bar, so you know you can see them all here. You can see their, you know, how they're accessed. You can see trusted for the trusted DSA for additional security. And you can also see things like the size of it. So if you're below the line, then the get mains are done in 256 KB. If you're above the line, then they're done in 1 megabyte. And if you're above the bar, then you're in one gigabyte. So depending on how you come here, you can see things like,
Colin,
yeah,
sorry, got another question for you.
yeah.
For MFA, multi-factor authentication enabled host, is CICS Explorer in a single region supported?
Yes, this is what I'm doing here.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you can see other things like you can see the programs, you can see the tasks, what tasks are running. There's a CMT running. There's a This is me. This is CMM. You running. You can see here. So quickly you can do that. You can actually force purge those from here, but you just obviously you need to be a little bit careful. You can purge them and force purge them, but I won't do that here because it's a little bit dangerous, of course. But in a running system, these are the things that you can play with. There's an MRO connection here. We've got an MRO to another region. You can see then we're MRO XCF. You can see it's currently released because that region isn't up, although it's in service. Okay, so you can see then the different values that we have for this. And of course, if you had multiple MRO regions, then you could see them all here too. So that would be quite good. And APPC, of course, and IPIC, depending on what your connectivity is. Okay, so just to come down to here, let's say we've got program. Just come down to program here. You can see all the programs because I've already done a filter. Remember, anything that I can search on, I can right click and add a quick filter, and I can discard, I can new copy, I can phase in. These are the things that you're more familiar with. Okay, to come down. But if you only want to see a subsection, this is like doing a CMT inquire, you know, DFH asterisk, you know, so on that. So once you've finished, then you take it out and then you can simply start again, and it'll give you everything here. Okay, so that's our CMT. So anything that you wanted to do here. So for example, I don't think I've got my files here. Let me get rid of them. I just wanted to do a couple of things with files. So you just come down to files. Okay, I want to search on all my local files, you know, which are here. You can see them all here, and I actually want to close this file. This one, this is an IVP file. Okay, so I can come here and I've just double clicked on the region name, and you can come down to here and I can say, oh, it's currently open, but I actually want to close it. And you'll see that when I close it, the enabled will change to unenabled. So I come here, I double click on open. You can see now it's highlighted. I've got a drop down. I want to close it. Okay. I hit enter, always hit enter. For a time I forgot to hit enter because it's kind of outside of the mouse click. So hit enter, it'll come up with highlighted. Control S, okay, and you can see then the unenabled here. You know, briefly they had to put in unenabled when they did because of SVC 99, because they had to differentiate between, you know, the open and in first reference and the open via the operator sort of opening the file that's closed. So the unenabled says the operator has closed it. So I can come back to here, okay, I double click, I come down, I open it up again, all right, I hit enter, okay, and I then do a Control S, and essentially then it's open and enabled. So I'm back to where I was. Once I finish with attributes, I simply come out of there and I can come back to here. As time's getting away from us, let me come to definitions. Okay, I'll just get rid of this. Get rid of some of these. It'll override anyway, but try and keep this clean if you can, because it'll really drive you crazy, because it'll be blocked up here, and you can always just always just do an X. Now definitions, you've got to think of CEDA. Okay, so definitions. Okay, now here's one thing that CICS Explorer can do that CEDA can't do, and that's define bundles. And more and more people are beginning to see the value of bundles, in that you can tie everything about an application into the bundle, and only CICS Explorer and CICS Plex SM BAS can do it as well, but not CEDA. Okay, so just remember, you will see things here that you're probably not familiar with, but we want to come down here to transaction definitions. All right, so we just hit that.
Colin, if I can interrupt again, before
Yeah.
you get to that, I've got a question saying, is it possible to join several specific resources from different views in a unique view? For example, you having specific connection,
yes.
TCP/IP service, specific program, specific
Yes,
file.
you can. Yeah, you can define the views you like, and maybe I'll do that in another course. You can set up the views as you want to see them, so you don't see just for transaction and just for programs. Okay, so you can set it up the way you want. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Trevor. So you can see here that I've got a new here. All right. So all I've done, I've come down to one of the existing ones. I've right-clicked and I've got a new. Okay. I click on new and it says create transaction definition. Now, what I could have done, I could have gone to, let me come out of there. Let me come out of here. I could have gone to file new. I could have done it this way, or Alt Shift and then Alt Shift and new. All right, so I can come here and I can do, transaction definitions here. There is a difference. The difference is that when you do an Alt new, it wants to know what the CSD is. So I can click here and I must enter this one in. I must enter the region name of what the CSD is. So I've got CICS TS53 here. I would just need to put that in here. So if I come back again and I do it this way, I do it via definitions, you'll see the difference. Come down to transaction definitions, okay? Come down to new, okay? And you can see here that if I just one of these, it takes a while to list all the transactions, of course. So I'll just come to this one. I want to use this one as a template. I right click, I do a new, but you see the region name is already there. So when you have a blank screen here and you've done file new, you must type in the CICS region, okay? But now you can put in your group name, all right? So I'm just going to put Colin here. I've already created it, so I shouldn't get any problems. My transaction is going to be ZABC. I'm going to put a description, and I'm going to put a program name. All right, so ZABC prog. Okay, so that's done. So that looks okay. That's all I need to do here. If I was going to have a remote name, had, AORs and things of that nature, then I could put my remote transaction name here. But you can leave that on. I can do finish. Okay. And I look down here and I just make sure that that has succeeded in the bottom left. Okay. And then I can come all the way down the bottom, or I can simply do a filter. Okay, and I can say, I just actually want Z asterisk. Oh, why hasn't that come up? Z asterisk. Oh, that's pretty strange. Z, whoops, ZABC. Oh, something has not quite worked the way I wanted it to. Let me just go back here.
Does it need to be caps? Because that's how you created it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Something is not working here. Am I still connected? Yeah, I am. Strange. Let's just go to the bottom and see if it's there. Oh, probably because it's not installed. Anyway, I've got ZABCD here. So yeah, I think what happens here, it just takes a while to go and read everything. So you just need to be a little bit patient. And of course, we've only got a little bit of time here. So I double click on here, ZABCD, and you can see here it's come up with now this right-hand screen part, okay? And if you come down the bottom, okay, I'll come all the way down the bottom, you can see here attributes, okay, and you can see now all the attributes of the screen here, okay? So you can see the program name I typed in, you can see, you know, whether it can be run, it's shut down, you know, all these different values here for the transaction. So that looks good. So I'm going to create ZABC prog. So that's good. Now I want to create the program name itself. So let's come to here. Let's do it this way. Okay, so I do program definitions. You can see now I need to make sure that it's in the right CSD. So I do a CICS TS53. My group name is COLIN. My name is ZABC prog, and just a description. Okay, and I can finish with that. And hopefully that's pretty happy. Okay, so now I can look at that definition in program. Where are we? Program definition. Here we are. Just takes a while because there's lots of programs here. You're just going to be a little bit patient. Okay, so we come all the way down the bottom. I could filter it like I've done before. Yeah, just takes a while to show everything. We're almost there. Okay, so here's my program here. I double click because there's a few things I need to change with it. I come to attributes. Okay, and I think, okay, well, I don't want it quasi-rent. I want it thread safe. So if I come there, I double clicked on quasi-rent. I came here to thread safe. Okay, and I don't want exec key user because this will give me key 9. So I want key 8. So I want CICS. Okay, and because I've changed two things now, I must hit enter. You can see they're both here now. Okay, and so then I just do a save. Okay, you can see here a save. All right, so I save them. Okay, and then I come down to here and I just double check that I've made that correct. Okay, and then just one final thing to show you. And so when I finished, come out of here, and you know, I can do a quick filter to make sure I can get it. Come back to here, I can do ZABC PROG. That's just a right click. Just takes a while to find it. And here we are again. I'm back into this one again. So a right click for filter. Type in the filter, and then away you go. And when you've finished, it'll go back to the normal one. The only other thing I wanted to show you in this short session was down the bottom here, you can see the group list. Okay, now this will come up in this part of the display here. Okay, so the group list, I just double click on it, it'll give me all the lists. Well, it should give me all the lists. Here we are. Here's all the lists here. Okay, and you can see that I can move them to this side if I want to, because the thing is I can move these around to anywhere I like. I can set this screen up. So now I've already got program definitions here, and I've been able to put my group list here. Okay, and then the other thing I can look at is for my definitions, I can look at the resource group name. Okay, so this will take a little bit of time. You can see the resource group. You can see Colin here. This is the one I set up. You can see all the things I've got here. Okay, for that resource list. Or I can come down to here and I can do. I just want to see DFH DCTG. Okay, so this will just give me. You know what this will give you is all the transient data lists. You can look at any one of these just to make sure it's set up correctly. So if I look at, for example, this one, this is the sign off. You can see it's pointing, it's defined as indirect and it's pointing to transient data queue CSSL. And of course, I could change that if I wanted to. Okay.
Colin, got another question for you.
Yeah.
Is there a copy option in definitions, same as we have on CEDA?
In definitions?
Yeah. Is there a copy option in definition?
Yes, there is. Let's see if I can find one for you. Okay. Come back to here. So I'll just get rid of this one. It's a problem. You can get too many of these open. Whoops. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. You can spend all your time just getting all these. So program definitions. Okay, let's try this one again. Okay. So just takes a while. But yes, I mean the answer is yes. Yes, you can see a copy option here. You just right click and you can do it install, you can do it open, you can do a new, and then you can delete it and you can do a copy option here. And you can do a copy to or copy as, depending on, or copy as and to, depending how you want to set it up. All right, so any one of these where you would normally have a CDA copy is available there. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, okay, now the only thing I would suggest is that when you've finished, what can happen is that, you know, it can stay up and running. And what I would do is just go down to your setup here and do a disconnect, all right, here, all right, and then you just need to do an exit, okay, and then you'll be back to the screen. I'm not too sure if you can still see my screen, but let me come out of here and back to here and come to here. Okay, so basically then you simply come back to where you were. This is where we were, and then of course we can just close this down and away we go. So I think, Trevor, it's almost 25 past. The only other thing I wanted to just make sure is that if you want the CICS Explorer book, then just send me an email. I'll give you my email address, and I'll send you the CICS Explorer book. It's very good. It's got just about all the things you need, both from a CICSplex SM installation and a single CICS region installation. You know, I'll send you that. So you've got my colin.pearce@gmail.com. And the only other thing I wanted to make you aware of is that I'm running a CICS TS performance and tuning 5-day course on the 5th to the 9th of October. So be happy if you want to come along with making it half price. So hopefully you'll get, and I'm going to present it in a way where I tell you how things work and then how things you can improve on that. So just to let you know, and I hope you can find me on LinkedIn if you haven't already found me there. So thanks a lot, Trevor. Thank you for this time, and I appreciate all of you who have taken the time to join in. I am looking for some work, so if you need anybody for contracting work or anywhere, I know Assembler, I know CICS very well, so I know ZOA. So if you're looking for somebody to help you, I'm happy to look and see what you have. So thank you very much,
Right.
and hopefully I'll see you again.
Thank you. Before you go, we've got one question asking
Yes.
for your email again. Can you just
Oh.
give your email again?
Yes, it's Colin.Pearce. Let's see if I can send it to all of you on the chat. So it's Colin.Pearce. See if I can send it here. I'm not familiar with Zoom, so it's taking a little while. Trevor and I had some fun before you all arrived. So I don't know if, only you can see that, Trevor. I need to send it to everybody. Here we are.
Copy it. All right, I'll do it.
Okay, colin.pearce@gmail.com. Yeah, if you need any help or if you just want to raise any CICS situations with me, I'm happy to help. But as I say, I am looking for some work. So
Okay.
it'd be nice to see you.
Yeah, we got one more question for you. A lot of
Yep.
people have been typing. Thank you very much. Great meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that.
Okay. One more basic question. Does CPSM/WI, etc., need to be running on the LPAR?
Yes. That's the quick answer. Yes, it takes a bit of setting up. There's a couple of jobs that you have to run. So yeah, I mean, you can set it up. I set it up probably a year or so ago, more than a year ago. It took me a little bit of time, but it's not something you do every day. But yes, once you've got it set up, if you set up your groups within CPSM for your CICS regions, then it's great because CICS Explorer will follow those groups. So you can just be a group. You can click on one region, click on the bottom one with shift, and you can do new copy in all of the regions all with the one hit. So it's much more intuitive if you run the CPSM the WUI interface.
Okay, brilliant. Well, if anyone's got any other questions, you can either email Colin, you've got his email address, or you can email me, and my email address will be on screen in a minute or two. So, yeah. Colin, thank you very much. Because we're a virtual user group, can you assume that you're getting a virtual round of applause?
Thank you.
Thank you. That was good. Let's go back to my slides. Yeah, I'll just go through these quickly. I am aware of the time, so let's move on. News, well, there hasn't been any or none that I've seen since last time we met. Articles, there's been a few. So we've got using MQ monitors to simplify the administration of CICS MQ trigger monitors and MQ message consumers, which must have the longest title. That was in the CICS part of the IBM Z and Linux One community. Configuring Kerberos for CICS with RACF and Microsoft Active Directory. Again, that was in the IBM Z and Linux One community and the CICS part of it. And so was this, pervasive encryption with CICS transaction server for ZOS. Elsewhere, what makes CICS a mixed language application server so special? That's by Israel Gross, who will actually be speaking next time we meet. That's IBM Systems Magazine. We've got continuous innovation creates success and helps longevity, introducing CICS DS version 5.6, a release for developers. And that was in the magazine Enterprise Executive. And opening the CICS transaction server trace toolkit, that was in Enterprise Tech Journal. We've got additional CICS products with powerful uses by Joseph Geller in the IBM Systems magazine, and 6 CICS products with key importance and focus, also by Joseph Geller in IBM Systems magazine. So there we are. And just to remind you that the links to these articles are on our website. So that's virtualcics.hostbridge.com /articles.htm. As always, can I ask for feedback about this meeting? You can comment on anything good or anything you think we can improve on for next time. You can email your comments to me. My address is on screen, or you can use the Contact Us webpage.
Trevor, can I just say one more thing?
Yes.
If you're going to CICS 5.5, you cannot assembly and link the PLTs anymore. They can only be read from either the sys1 parallel, which you wouldn't want to do, or from a new DD statement, which is DFH table, and they only read the source. You can't assemble it and link it anymore from 5.5. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay, yeah, that's worth knowing. Thank you. So, plan for the future. 3rd of November then, we've got Ezreal Gross, Principal Solutions Advisor, Rocket Software, and he's discussing visualizing CICS performance data in Splunk using CICS Performance Analyzer. And our meeting after that then is 12th of January next year. More details of that will be released soon, I hope. Just a reminder that you can keep up to date with what's happening in the world of CICS and on the Virtual CICS User Group website by following us on Facebook and Twitter, or by joining the Virtual CICS group on LinkedIn. The URLs are on screen, but they're all on the home page of our website. And we do like likes, like everyone, so if you find us on Facebook, if you can like the page, that would be brilliant, please. And if you tweet or whatever, then can you use the hashtag VirtualCICS? Oh, just by the way, Hostbridge Technology, our user group sponsor, is conducting a survey to better understand how enterprises are using robotic process automation, the value they're getting, and what the challenges are. And they'd really appreciate it if members of the virtual CICS user group could take their survey. They reckon it'll only take about 5 minutes. I've put a tiny URL for it on screen. It was also in the newsletters we've sent out. But yeah, if you could do that, that would be really good. And also the results from the survey will be published, so everyone can see what the survey results are. So that's all for this meeting of the virtual CICS user group. Can I thank you all for attending? Thanks to Hostbridge Technology for sponsoring our user group, and I'd particularly like to thank Colin Pearce for his presentation. So that's it. Thank you all very much for joining the meeting, and see you on the 3rd of November.